Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and I think you know why you're here, because you've probably read the title of this video, and maybe the thumbnail as well, because graphic design. Welcome to part 2 of my top 41 countdown for Eurovision 2019. In case that somehow went over your head just now, just to reiterate, this is part 2 of a 4-part series. I'm doing it 10 countries at a time, except for last week where I looked at my bottom 11, just because 41 countries doesn't divide easily. So anyway, this is part 2. We're looking at songs from 30th up to 21st in my personal rankings. Don't expect audio clips from the song, I'm just talking through my opinions, that's all. Nothing copyrightable in here, no music, just me. So if you're not here for that, then, you know, exercise caution. Do expect my opinions. If you're coming here to hear me say what you think about the song, you're in the wrong place, and if you get offended, that's entirely on you. And that being said, as I said last week, and as I'll say for the next 2 weeks, in the comments below, feel completely free to share your personal top 41. You can either give me the whole thing now, or just the countries I talk about in this video, or just your places from 30 up to 21, or, you know, whatever suits, just as long as I have your complete top 41 by, let's say, the 6th of May, it'll be in consideration for the mega top 41. I'll put all the complete ones together and make a mega list. And by the way, in case it wasn't clear, I'm looking for people's top 41 in terms of favourites. It's not a prediction, just be honest with how you feel. You don't have to put the auto-qualifiers in the top 26, you don't have to give your own country special treatment or whatever, just be honest with your opinions, and now, prepare yourself to be honest with my opinions, and let's all be nice and respectful because we are dealing with opinions here, okay? Okay, so kicking things off this week in 30th place, we have Australia, Kate Miller-Heidke and Zero Gravity. Honestly, the whole song is kind of a big mood. Like, it's a relatively clever allegory for, like, reframing the idea of depression as being in an abusive, toxic relationship, and yeah, that is how living with depression is. That's a surprisingly good way of wording it, and that much, I respect it. It conveys the point effectively, and amidst all of this as well, it shows what Kate is capable of as an operatic singer. It's just the same beef that I always have with operatic songs. Just because you can hit the high notes doesn't mean that should automatically put a song higher up than it would otherwise be. You know, I was like this with La Forza last year, I'm like this with Albania 2012, Run initially with Suis. You know, I respect the composition, but just because those high notes are there and they can be hit doesn't necessarily make the song automatically good. It has to do other stuff with it. And this song does do other stuff with it, just only enough to make it be my 30th place. Also, it does bother me just how camp the whole presentation of the song is, and admittedly, they're going to change the staging for Eurovision, that's already been confirmed. But between the, not bluster, but like the of this whole song, and also the national final staging, I've heard so many people look at it and go, oh yeah, that's what all of Eurovision always is every time. Like, no, we're more diverse than this. Like, it's not Kate's fault, but the song is kind of playing into the negative stereotypes that some people already hold about the contest, and I live in Britain. It's already an uphill battle to try and get people to pay attention to the contest as it is, so anyway, favourite lyric, Stone in My Shoe. Now, bear with me, the song does have a load of crazy allegories, and they all work on several different levels. The song is all about living with depression, as an example, and this is actually a surprisingly good analogy in particular for showing that not everything with depression is this big, like, wrecking ball that just right in the face ruins your day. There can be little things, like a stone in your shoe, that can just grind you down over time, or it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back, the one last tiny insignificant thing, but it's just one thing too many. It just tips you over the line and just sends you spiraling. And yeah, I appreciate that that's been acknowledged in a song that's actually already handling a delicate subject matter with grace and elegance. So good on you, Australia. It's just the song itself isn't my personal favourite flavour, but whatever. On a similar note, 29th place we have Estonia, Victor Crone and Storm. Honestly, I kind of keep forgetting the song even exists, which, all things considered, is kind of strange, bearing in mind people were, like, really hyping it up during Ace Lowell, and yet now it's been chosen, and everyone's sort of, they're too busy freaking out over other songs, for better or for worse. So, yeah, as a song, it's decent, it's definitely nothing to be ashamed of, like, it's the sort of thing that I am happy to hear countries sending, bearing in mind it fits in with roughly the current musical zeitgeist, bearing in mind it's rather Avicii-esque, rest his soul, obviously. So, you know, it's something that probably would have been more effective in the contest a couple of years ago, but, you know, it doesn't sound dated yet. It's just this genre is no longer at its peak, but still decent, and clearly they have creative ideas for the staging. I'm just hoping that they don't do the, because in the national final, I'm fairly sure that we saw most of the live performance, and then it cuts to a video of him performing in front of a green screen, which is then edited out to have the storm rolling in. So the crowd you see behind him in the live performance isn't the real crowd, it's CGI. I hope they don't do that at Eurovision, because it comes across as disingenuous. It's clever and creative, but, there is a limit. Please just use the screens, do something that, the people live in the audience will see as well, because otherwise that comes across as kind of inconsiderate. Armenia was like that in 2016, I was there for the 2016 final, it was much less effective in person because you can't see the holograms. You get the idea. Anyway, favourite lyric, but I might be all wrong. I don't know where the accent came from, I do apologise. But yeah, there's nothing in particular about the words themselves, it's just, I like how it's used in the song structure, I like its cadence in context, I like the fact that this is something that the lyrics keep coming back to over time. It's a recurring motif, it gives the song more structure. And if I was more gung-ho about disliking the song, I'd be like, haha, you might be wrong, yeah, you are, because I don't like the song. But really, it's my 29th place, because it's pretty alright, I just keep forgetting it exists, but you do you, Estonia. You can be proud of setting the song. On a very similar note, meanwhile, 28th place, we have Ireland, Sarah McTernan, and 22. It's another song that I don't forget it exists quite as much as Estonia, but, it doesn't leave much of an impact, but I enjoy it while it's on. And it's a song that the country in question can't be ashamed of. Well, I suppose you could be ashamed that it's not a heavier hitter, but, it's not a bad song, it's competent, it's definitely a step up from, say, Sunlight in 2016. So, it doesn't especially stand out, it doesn't break new ground, so it is painfully easy to gloss over, but give it the time of day and you'll have a good time. It's just, this is another song, like Estonia, like Moldova, where the biggest sort of damnation against it is just how faintly I'm praising it. It somehow seems more insulting for me to go, yeah, it's alright, rather than explicitly saying, oh, it's bad, or oh, this or that. No, it's an okay song. That's the most I can say. I will probably come back to listen to this a couple of times after the contest, and then it'll gradually fade from my memory, but for the time being, Ireland is in roughly a good place. I'm looking forward to seeing where they take it in the next few years. Favourite line here, I see 22, and I think of you. Okay, if I say it like that with no context, it sounds a bit waffy, but two things for why it's my favourite lyric here. First of all, it kind of sets the tone for the whole song. It sets the expectation that the whole thing is a first-person stream of consciousness kind of narrative deal, which, that's what the song is, and it's a good one at that. But also, this line is just me. Seriously, if you find me in the real world, or on my Discord server, that also exists, just saying, link in the description, but yes, if you find me in person and talk to me, chances are, at some point in the conversation, you'll say something and I'll be like, oh, that reminds me of a Tumblr post, something I saw on Twitter, it'll remind me of something completely dumb, and then I'll spiral off on a tangent, and I'll just be like, oh, this reminds me of that reminds me of this. I can see things that have no meaning, and I'm assigning meaning to them because they remind me of stuff. Basically, my brain is balked, and this line validates me because it's kind of seeing something innocuous that reminds you of something innocuous? That's not a word. I'll just move on, shall I? Okay, 27th place now. People aren't gonna like this, but Greece, Katarina, Duska, and Better Love. Yeah, this is going to annoy a lot of people that it's only 27th, but in all fairness, I'm disappointed in myself for not liking it more, because I recognise that this is actually a really good song by a really good performer, and I do think that this is the sort of genre we should see more of at Eurovision, so kudos to Greece for 2 years running at least, sending really comparatively different stuff that I would say that only Greece can provide. There are a couple of other countries that could do this sort of thing this year. I mean, the UK could send something like this if they put their minds to it, but no, we have to rely on Greece to do it instead because the UK is trash. So I think Greece should be very proud of their singer. I think the hype around this song is justified. It doesn't click with me as much as I hoped that it would. But in all fairness, this happened with me with Romania in 2017 as well. I didn't especially feel Yodel it, but it still did fairly well, and I recognise that it deserved to do fairly well. So this is similar to that in that respect, so yeah, go Greece! Favourite lyric here, the whole won't you lean on me, you can lean on me part of the song. if we take the words at face value, it's nice and reassuring and like, okay, Katarina, you, in this context, you are my friend, you are my rock, I will lean on you if I need to, that's nice, that's lovely, but also, just more broadly speaking, it's my favourite part of the song. Like, just musically, that's where my favourite part of the composition lies. It fits really well at that moment with the context of the song around it. It's just, overall, a good moment in a song that is objectively good and really should be higher on my list, but just isn't because unlucky, I suppose. Anyway, 26th place. I feel people are going to be even angrier, not only that I put Greece 27th, but that I put Belarus Xena and Like It immediately above it. Like, that's just going to rub salt in the wound, so please just hear me out. Honestly, Belarus is my biggest guilty pleasure of this year's contest, and I could not tell you why. It's another vapid, inoffensive song. It kind of tastes like a junior Eurovision entry, to be honest, and bearing in mind Xena did co-host the junior contest last year, that's kind of thematically appropriate, but yeah, this song is just 3 minutes of empty fun, but it's empty fun, you know? It's a little party condensed into 3 minutes. It's not trying to be anything, it's just kind of there, and I enjoy it. It's one of the songs where I can just turn my brain off and go, yes, I am gonna like it. And also, from what I've seen, Xena is actually a really good ambassador for her country. Like, I've seen the footage of her performing at Eurovision in concert. She was apparently giving her all, both, you know, live and from what we've seen in the playback as well. So, by all rights, you know, she's doing right by her country. It's just people aren't so wowed by her song. But, like, I will put it on every now and then and just bop along to it, because it's fun, and what's wrong with fun? My favourite line in this one is, "Let's break the rules." Now, I'm kind of a stickler for following the rules. Like, I was that kid in school. I was Mr. Rules Man. But it's just the most standout line in the refrain. It has just an enjoyable cadence. It's satisfying to hear in context. And it has those implications of liberation. You know, let's have fun. To hell with what other people say about how we should go about having that fun. So I like it, it fits, there's not much I can add because that's how it usually goes with these favourite lyric things. I really should think these things through. I should probably script my thoughts, but I don't. Right, calming back down for a hot second here. 25th place. Cyprus Replay. I don't remember where I put Fuego in my list last year, so here we go again with this song being in Fuego's shadow. And I guess I should have looked it up before I recorded this, but like, if I had to guess, I probably put it in roughly the same spot in the countdown, because they're both very, very, very similar turn your brain off fun songs, and side by side of the two, I actually prefer Replay. Then again, maybe it's just because I am just absolutely here for the brassiness of the hook, so I don't know. But yeah, much like Belarus, it's another one that's just nothing but just vapid fun that isn't meant to be taken hyper seriously. It's just a fun little party time song. Thing is, some people will take it hyper seriously. To me, it is just a fun bop that strays much too close to just copying what worked last year, but for a copy song, they could have done a lot worse. You know, for example, I would rather listen to this than a song that was trying to be a copy of a Marpelus Deutsch, but then again, I'd imagine most people would feel that way because if you're just trying to copy a heartfelt song, then your copy won't be as heartfelt. You know what, I'm rambling. Favourite lyric, my heart beats like an 808. Nothing to add other than, woo, an actual reference to a piece of actual musical kit. It's a real world, it's a shout out to the song's actual history. Music like this was made possible by equipment like the Roland TR-808. So, shout out to the writers for doing their research. Usually the lyrics of this sort of song are kind of really vapid, so it's kind of nice and refreshing to see a unexpectedly intelligent, or at the very least, esoteric in a good way, reference in the lyrics. Shout out to you, Cyprus! Straight after that, again, some people might feel conflicted depending on how strongly they stand Cyprus this year, but 24th place we have Austria, Panda, Limits. It's another song that I thought I would like more than I do, because when they first announced that Panda was going to represent Austria, I did look up some of her other music, which is surprisingly hard to do. I mean, type in Panda music on YouTube and you're going to find a lot before you find her channel, but I thought I'd be more impressed. I thought we'd get stuff like, I don't know, Sofia Samayo, for instance, but this song is slowly growing on me, but I do think that it's gonna, like, tap out at 24th here. I don't think it's gonna go any higher than it currently is on my personal list. Still, it's pretty, it's emotional, she delivers that perfectly, at least as far as the music video is concerned, and the atmosphere of the song is infectiously otherworldly, and that much at least I can appreciate and enjoy. It just, similar to Latvia, it kind of doesn't do that much, but it at least stretches what it has out over the 3 minutes. But I guess it's kind of my bad for having expectations similar to Belgium. In this case, I was expecting something a bit more like Lily Among Clouds' song from the German selection, but I can't really complain too much about what we got in the end because it is still a good and competent song. Favourite line, "The pressure on my chest becomes almost routine." Not only is that a big mood, I know I've been saying that a lot this year, but like there are a lot of big mood lyrics, but also it's just, as a line, it is beautifully worded both as a standalone lyric and as part of its stanza, and as part of a larger lyrical body. It's just, that's a well-written line, and it's just, how do you fit like beautiful actual prose into a song? I'm more mind-blown by that than I feel like I should be, but that being said, all I can do is praise the lyrical fidelity of that line. There's not more I can add to the discussion than that, other than, woo, Austria, clever music for people who might be clever and might also not. What am I doing with my hands? Milk the invisible sky cow. Okay, we're up to 23rd place now, and we have Denmark, Lenora, and Love Is Forever. This is such a precious song. Even at my most cynical and nihilistic and self-deprecating, I cannot stay mad at this one. It's so cute! In fact, I'm actually low-key surprised that a song as gentle and as saccharine and as adorable as this came from a national final. People voted for this. People voted for this instead of something more serious or marketable or take seriously. People actually do believe in love. Wow. Also, I'm hoping that they bring the giant chair to Tel Aviv, or at least something comparable to it, because, like, I'm still impressed, even now, like, 2 months later. Like, the camera work at Dansk Melodi Grand Prix, I completely butchered pronouncing that, but at the national final, there was a 20-foot chair on a stage. It might not have been 20 feet, I can't do estimations and measurements and stuff. They had a giant chair on stage, and it's basically completely invisible for, like, half the performance? How did they do that? That's genius. So I'm hoping they have something equally clever when they hit the stage in Tel Aviv. And also, one of the backing dancers looks like a personal friend of mine, so I don't really know what the main takeaway from that is, but I guess it makes me feel like I have a personal connection to the song when I don't. Probably not. That's probably not part of my thought process. Anyway, favourite lyric, "Come over, my long-lost friend." That's just so nice, so sweet, and just, oh, this song is so cute in general, and this line not only embodies that, like, identity as a whole, but also it directly addresses the listener. It says, you, the listener, are my friend, come over and, you know, join the happy party. And it's a direct call to engage with the cuteness of this song, and it's so cute, and it's done cutely, and just, I can't even, I love cute stuff. Also, shout out for including French and, like, a bit of German and a bit of Danish. Like, we've not heard Danish at Eurovision for years, so yeah, include that language. Right, calming back down again, and we're back into the territory that people are going to go off on. Like, I know people are expecting this to come up at some point. Well, here's the payoff for that. 22nd place, Netherlands, Duncan Lawrence, Arcade. This song is okay. Academically, it doesn't do anything explicitly wrong. It's well structured, it's suitably emotional, it was written in part by the guy who sings it. It doesn't come across as a desperate cash grab or desperate ploy to whatever demographic or to appeal to whatever's currently trendy, and it's sung well by a charismatic and capable singer. So, yeah, academically, on paper, there is nothing wrong with this song. It's just 99% of the time, if a song's main appeal is trying to tug at my heartstrings, if that's what it's specifically aiming to do, it generally speaking fails. And like, Denmark, for instance, isn't trying to tug at my heartstrings, it's just sitting there being cute, and that's what I'm reacting to. Whereas this is telling a story that's intended to get to me, and so it doesn't. And yeah, don't take it personally, but it's just 99% of songs are like that. This song is part of the majority. To be entirely too real, I won't be surprised if this ends up winning in Tel Aviv, partly because people just won't shut up about how much they love this song, and like, I would be disappointed if it won, but I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't hold it against them, because, you know, rather this than something vapid and empty of meaning, but at the same time, there are 21 other songs that I personally prefer to listen to, and also, I just, hate being able to see the winner coming from a mile away. In short, this song is a perfect practical demonstration of overrated, but that doesn't mean that it's bad, it's just overrated in my opinion, and that's what you're here for, opinions. Anyway, favourite lyric, my mind feels like a foreign land, another mood! The only thing here is, every time I hear this line in context, my mind keeps expecting the lyric to be, my mind feels like a traffic jam, and like, that would still fit syllabically and tonally and meaningfully, like, it still fits the song, and yet somehow it feels kind of goofy as opposed to foreign land. Oh, that feels all mystical and ethereal, but traffic jam, beep beep, like, you know, it fits, but it doesn't fit, but anyway, yeah. Basically, I can relate because mental health struggles, but also, again, it's part of a story that's told convincingly and plausibly and really, and I can't fault it. I just think it's overhyped, and there are songs that I prefer, but you could do a lot worse. Anyway, hoping that people don't get, like, all screamy and angry about that, finishing up this section of the list, we have 21st place, and again, I think, much like with Greece, people are going to be offended that I put the Netherlands 22nd, or only 22nd, but on top of that I'm putting in 21st place, directly above it, Georgia, Oto Nemsadze, Sultsin Iare, because I refuse to participate in the EBU's persistent culture of randomly forcing the title of non-English songs into English just because. This song is called Sultsin Iare, you cannot change my mind, that's how I'm branding it, I am not going to call it anything else, that's what it says on the scorecards that I made, link to that in the description as well. It's in Georgian, please live with this EBU. But yeah, this is another song where I just straight up don't understand why people are so outspoken in their hatred for it. Like, I know the lyrics carry a deep meaning that's, like, really specific to a specific group of people, and I will never truly personally understand that experience because, you know, it's not my story. I'm from part of the world that's got nothing to do with that. But at least I can appreciate what's being gone for here, and I like the song's instrumentation. It's got a load of different synths that come in at different times that I really enjoy, like the one at about 1 minute in, like I said in the initial review. I like the delivery, and again, the singer looks like a different person, but a personal friend of mine, and that's more of a happy coincidence. It's obviously not influencing my opinion here. It's a good, competent song that's performed with conviction. It's got realness to it, just like the Netherlands does, and I don't get the negativity. You don't need to be. I don't see the issue. Why are people hating? It's a good song. And also, okay, favorite lyric. Does it count as lyrics? The whole like that part. A lot of people hate that part because it's shouty or whatever, but I like it. It uses an idiomatic Abkhaz kind of. Is it pronounced Khaz or Kaz? Abkhaz refrain, as like it's a platform to showcase Otto's emotional range as well as giving the song further depth, giving it flavour, making it distinctly an offering from Georgia that tells this specific story. It's a strong identifier, and it sounds good, and he has the whole back and forth with the backing singers. I think at least one of them was from Iriau anyway. Like, it's a very Georgian song, and I appreciate that, and I enjoy it. I like how it sounds, I like how it goes, I like how it builds. Basically, the song has got my attention, and it deserves better than it's inevitably going to get. I don't understand why people are so quick to dismiss this one. It's good! It's good! But if you've decided that you're not fond of it, then I kind of doubt I can change your mind, but I just urge you to please give it a chance. In any case, though, let's just recap the 10 songs that I talked about just now. And when I say recap, I mean list them out with my mouth. I'm not going to be playing clips of them, as I said before. So, my places 30 down to 21, once again, are Australia, Estonia, Ireland, Greece, Belarus, Cyprus, Austria, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Georgia. So that's me, that's how I feel. As I said, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Keep it civil, keep it nice. We all have opinions. If we didn't, it wouldn't be a contest. And yep, feel free to share your top 41 with me. If I have your complete top 41 by the 6th of May, I'll include in the mega top 41. We'll see what the community favourite entries are. I look forward to seeing that, because I have the spreadsheet at the moment, but of course I haven't actually run the numbers yet. I'm just looking forward to seeing how that develops. So yeah, feel free to share yours with me, and please do join me again next week to hear what my songs are from 20th up to 11th, because This year, I feel like the middle 20 are as interesting as the top and bottom, because like usually, most people are really into hearing people's top 10 and bottom 10 or 11 or whatever, because they want to hear what the most extreme opinions are, they want to hear what's the most polarized. But this year, I feel like there are enough songs that kind of go both ways that people are going to want to see what's fallen into the middle ground here. So I'm hoping that it's interesting. Of course, next week I'll be even more positive. Please do join me for that, but I'm rambling. So I have been, will continue to be, Tessellating Hexagons, and hope to see you whenever next you choose to see me, and yeah.